constant rotation, it's all about the wrist.
There once was a lad who never had music. Then he went on to SoundCloud. Then he found constant rotation. Then he knew that he had the fucking plug for the hottest shit that you've ever heard. Yeah, constant rotation, in rotation compilation. Head on over there. Every Monday we got the hottest shit. You like the Katos, you like the Jeremiah Taylors, you like the Dylan Ponders, you like the Amelia Paredes. Everyone fucks with that shit. Don't fuck around. Go over there. Do me a favor. Do us a favor. Do your dog a favor. Do your grandma a flavor. Yeah, give her a flavor, dude. No, do her a favor. Send her the link. SoundCloud.com/constant rotation. New and rotation compilations every Monday. Do that shit now.
My name's Garrett. Yo, Gert. You can find this over at theconcertation.com. And I'm here with Newport's very own Derreck Jamar.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. You know, just here trying to get to the bottom of what the hell you've been up to, dude. I see you all over Twitter just making moves, helping these guys out, and, you know, just overall creating a direction that I don't know, piqued my interest for sure. So I wanted to get you in here to have a conversation.
Definitely, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Anytime we can have anybody in here, especially someone who's, you know, like I said, making moves and trying to get shit going. I appreciate that and respect it. Let's just get into who you are, man. Derreck Jamar. Where are you from? Where are you born? How old are you? Sorry. That was like a triple threat right there.
No. Well, I'm from Orange County, bro, but by way of like New Orleans and stuff like that. My dad's from New Orleans, so I kind of grew up on that. Went out there almost every summer. So that's kind of what makes me, you know, kind of the southern type of swag, and then also a little bit of like the West Coast vibe. So 23 years old, about to be 24 in November, chilling, you know. But yeah.
So the 23 years, you got the New Orleans vibe. You got the, as Shaka calls it, the southern palm trees, the mix with like the South, and then the California vibe.
Definitely.
So how is that constituted to what you've been up to, and just because you're really into like art direction, would you agree? And like figuring out the direction and the motive for people. And we got Art in here too. My bad, dude. Art Watson, he's in the building, live in the fucking flesh, dude. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
All right, just wanted to get you in there. I felt like I left you out for a second. But as far as like that cultural clash of kind of opposites, but finding a good medium between them, how has that helped you? Like, how has that bled into what the culture of what you do as an artistic person?
Definitely. I think with the music that I tend to rock with is a lot of like R&B or like heavy bass type music. So with the artists that, you know, I tend to gravitate to and that kind of I work with, they're really big on a lot of I guess Southern traditions and stuff like that. And then when it comes to like the artwork and creative direction and stuff like that, I mean, that's just influence from music that I've listened to all the way up until now, you know. So yeah.
So the music is definitely where you think you shine as far as like figuring out. Like, you focus mainly on music, you feel like, or is it like art of all types? Like, what?
I mean, it's art of all types, but what really inspires me is music. Like, what I think when people, especially musicians, when they hear music, they can like think of like lyrics, or they can think of a beat or whatever. When I hear music, I see visuals, so like that conveys into like music videos, artwork, art direction, the whole image of an artist. But yeah. I hope that answers your question. I don't know.
No, it definitely did. I'm just trying to pinpoint where that drive to I don't know, because you do a lot of stuff. Like, you're writing a book right now. You're working on that website. You got Newport brand. You're working with like See the Curator and stuff.
Right.
But you're doing all this stuff. And where did it start? And if music's the start, I could definitely see where that came from and how it's bled into other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when growing up, I've had like my relatives and stuff like that. They've always been like within the industry some type of way. My cousin used to manage Mike Epps, used to manage Kevin Hart, like before he even popped. So like he did more of the comedy stuff.
Shout out to Kevin Hart, get you on here.
And then so I took hold of that whole management aspect and stuff like that. And then music, I've just grown up on tons and tons of music, and that's just kind of...
What was your first rap album that you actually owned? Like, that's my favorite question to ask people. Because, like, for me, it was like, I'm Not a Human Being, Lil Wayne. Super late in the game, but that was the first time I went to a Best Buy, snuck out, like, with my homies, bought that shit.
You're not going to believe this, but My first rap album was Missy Elliott, Under Construction. Yeah. I think she's so slept on as far as like this new generation. A lot of people don't understand what she's brought to the game as far as creativity and music videos and stuff like that. So, yeah, Missy Elliott.
That's a deep cut. I like that, dude. Some people are like Illmatic, and like I have another dude who brought up like a Snoop Dogg album and stuff. But if you can get like the nice ones, dude. But I'm stuck with like I'm Not a Human Being, which means a lot to me, but not necessarily like the overall rap game. That's not brought up or anything. But that Missy Elliott's a good damn cut to bring in. So childhood. Can you think of any moments that specifically like formulated into like especially your wave recently? Like, is there a thing that you think you really draw back to as far as like if you're ever lacking inspiration or something? Like it might just be New Orleans visits and just hanging out with the family and, you know, exposing yourself to other cultures. But like for me, and like I find a lot of drive to like certain things from my past, but not necessarily like it doesn't necessarily take over, you know what I mean? But there's always that one thing that'll come back and it'll even sometimes expand into something else. Do you have something like that?
I mean, my earliest memories as far as like creating like cool shit out of like nothing would be. We can cuss on here, right?
Oh, of course. Okay. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, we're good. I'll just start it right off, dude.
No, but my earliest memories would probably be, honestly, bro, like chilling in my room when I was maybe like 6, 7 or whatever, and working with like Legos, and like you have like a Lego box or whatever, and it would be something that you're supposed to build, and I would build that shit. But then after that, I would build something else. I remember building fucking like RVs, and like there was no RVs. Like I don't know. It's just like I've always been kind of different.
Literally going right outside the box, like 100%, like right on point. Yeah.
So I mean, just that, bro. I remember like memories of like me and my dad driving down the freeway like late at night, and he would be having like Trick Daddy on or whatever, and be blaring like out the car, and I'm just like, yeah, like this is a vibe, like
this captures something that you want to encapsulate across all art.
So it's just, you know, imagery, man. Like I said, I see a lot of images when I hear music, and like I instantly get music video like treatments, like simple.
That's a good, honestly, like a tactic to have, because visuals, especially in like the internet age of like YouTube and everything, like you need to have a visual all the time, and like it's just you can hear something on SoundCloud, but once you get a face to that like thing, it just takes it to a whole new level.
Definitely.
Lego boxes, I like that, dude. That like, because I used to do that same shit. Is like, who really left the set built like all the time? No one did that, but like you're always building stuff. Like you didn't just stop making Lego or fucking with Legos. You know what I mean? Even I was doing that, but that's a cool way to look at it. 2016, that's the year that we're in. Today is, what's the day? It's the 23rd.
23rd, yeah.
23rd of August, 2016. 2016, define that for me. What has that been like for you?
Well, this year actually has been a pretty darn good year. I would say it's probably
been busy.
Yeah, it's been my most successful year, I guess, since like post high school, and I would consider, you know, everything as far as this whole music and creative industry works. I haven't really started it until really out of high school. But this one has been the most successful year thus far. Picking up like some new clients, you know, working with some new people. I've been rebranding a lot of people this year, so like it's been really fun, like seriously fun, yeah. But there's so much more to come, man. I have like a lot planned for this year.
We'll get into that. I got some little points to talk about. I want to know all of it, but I don't want to sell one short, so we'll break that down.
Definitely.
So like you said, taking the jump after high school, what kind of like led from being the guy who wasn't doing maybe the creative stuff to really going for it and starting
it's honestly this cat right here, Art and Joey, also known as JV.
Shout out to both of them.
Yeah,
you're in the room, but shout out to JV.
It all started when they kind of came to me, especially Art. He had just got back from the whole Navy, or was it Navy, bro? Coast Guard thing, and he was saying that he was looking for a manager. And matter of fact, I had reached out to him like maybe a couple months prior to, and I was like, bro, like I seen your music, like I want to manage you. I was like, you could be my first artist or whatever. And he went to the Coast Guard. When he came back, he hit me and he was just like I'm ready or whatever, like I want to do this. And we kind of pursued at it, you know, and you know, timing, you know,
it's everything.
Yeah, so 100%. You know, it wasn't really the right time, I would say, but yeah, this year has been really well.
So do you think you've been sticking to the norm, or do you feel like, have you been straying away from like what you normally do, or you just is the foundation still there? You just expanding and building up, like building stories on stories.
The whole concept of like what I first started was to initially kind of start up a label with him, and it was supposed to be like, it was called Dream Life, and we had did it. And
I remember that. I remember seeing that shit on Facebook and stuff all the time. Yeah.
So that was the initial concept, and at the time, like, we didn't know how to go about it and stuff like that. So like, you know, you kind of learn with time, and then we kind of, you know, went our separate ways and did our own little thing for a little bit, and I kind of started doing like clothing a little bit, and that's where Newport evolved. So,
do you guys still do clothing?
Newport doesn't do clothing necessarily; it does merch. I'm actually in talks right now trying to purchase some, like, a familiar brand that you guys probably know of, but we'll talk about that later on.
Nice. Basically, I already kind of got into the inspirations and how that all came forth, but with that inspirations in mind, and with time comes progression as a natural thing and all that good stuff. How if you were to paint yourself a perfect picture, what's this life like? What is that checklist that you want to hit? Like, if you could do no money's no option, no, like, just your mind, go for it. What do you want to do with this life? Like, if you could just hit a couple boxes just to make sure you feel satisfied when it does, you know.
Man, that's crazy, because right now, I don't know. I don't really look at goals as something that, like, yo, this is really what I want to do for the rest of my life. I mean, like, I think personally my goal is like to have like a family or whatever, and like Irvine or something like that. But I mean, as far as creatively,
it's not a bad goal though, honestly. That's humble goal,
yeah,
dude.
Right?
And I respect that. Hell yeah.
No, but as far as like creatively, like right now my main goal is being able to open up a space that, you know, creatives can work in, and almost like a Starbucks coffee shop, but it would be for creativity. You know, you can come in there and you can work on your music, or you can work on your photography or whatever, and that's really the goal right now. And we were supposed to open up the Newport Creative Space last year, and it didn't work out just because of some business, you know, differences. But this year is definitely, we're working on that. So yeah.
Nice. So Newport, I'm just gonna go right into the brand, Newport brand. Sure. So this kind of fed off of Dream Life. You got off of that, not off of that, but expanded. I'm guessing same foundation, same concept, same ideology. Right. But how did it start? Like, where'd the name come from? Like, did it just come to you in your sleep?
No, man. Okay, so Newport.
Do you want to give it a little pitch or a log line so people know? Newportbrand.com, correct?
Yeah, newportbrand.com. If you go to it, it's Newport Brand on all social media as well. But Newport, the name is so funny because it came up, like, I get known, or I used to get known, I don't know about now, but I used to get known as like, oh, you know, you're like the white black guy or whatever. I don't know, like, so people will be like, oh, are you from Newport? Because I didn't always grow up. I didn't grow up in the Inland Empire. Okay. So a lot of people, when I started going to school out here or whatever, they were like, well, where are you from? And like, are you from Orange County? Oh, you like a white boy or whatever. Yeah. So like, I don't know.
Every black guy who plays water polo.
Yeah.
Because I play water polo and I know the archetype that you're defining right now.
So they would be like, oh, you like Newport or whatever, like Mr. Newport or whatever. And it kind of just stuck. And I was just like, Newport. But I was like, you know, of course we got to do a little different, spell a little bit differently.
The spelling's like, it's right, you know, it makes sense.
Right, yeah.
There's no phonetic, like, different, like, everyone looks at that and it says Newport, you know what I mean? Right. But it's not straight up like the cigarette, and it's not the city, but it's like your own little spin on that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of, you know, what the name and how that kind of came about. But yeah.
So conceptually, what does Newport stand on? Like, what is that? What is the foundation of Newport? What is the, like, point? Is it to promote music? Is it an agency, like a label, like you were talking? Is it just a place for creatives to come together at one meeting point, like a meeting ground kind of?
Right. Well, the initial concept when we first started like Newport, the creative agency, was to bring creatives of all facets. So if you're a photographer, graphic designer, musician, all that. But we kind of slimmed it down. Now it's just a product, experience, and content brand geared towards music. And we're kind of leaving the fashion side out of it. And I feel like there's so many areas within music. You have now, like, there's a new uprising of photographers that shoot specifically like musicians and concerts and stuff like that. So that's where we really geared toward. And yes, it does. We do have a label within it where we do sign people, and we obviously all of the services that we offer to any other person, they get discounted, and then we also throw them some money. So yeah.
So the roster, do you have like a roster of people who are on this collective right now?
Yeah, right now we have Oscar Days, who is photographer for Made Tokyo. We have Aaron Williams, who is also the brand manager of Newport. He's the photographer for Sean Kingston. We have obviously myself. We have JV. We have Art. We have Marissa, our Mo Money Productions. Ashton, Shot by Ashton. We have J Dot, CJ. We have
the list goes, dude.
Yeah,
I was writing these down.
Sorry
I was
if I didn't mention your
sweating
name,
a little bit. No. Shout out to everybody out there, dude.
Yeah.
They're all doing their thing, and it seems like they got a good direction based on what you're talking about. Right. So how long has it been since Newport started?
Newport initially started in 2012. We started doing the creative agency like last year, late 2014, early 2015. So, and
then from day one to now, is the evolution been? I don't want to say drastic because that kind of brings like a negative tone to it, but like
go ahead.
Drastic.
Yeah. It's been drastically like. The initial concept, because when we first started, it was Newport Fits clothing, so like it was just clothing, and we I wanted to bring away from that because I'm gonna be honest, like clothing is one of the areas that I lack the most in. So
it's hard. It's really hard.
So that's
if you can do it right, like
exactly.
That's the real draw, because I bet it's fun if you can do it properly.
Right. No, but that's why we kind of brought it back towards music, because that's kind of my area of specialty. So. Yeah.
So I've been seeing the playlist, the artists to watch, the various content popping off. As far as progress and just content rolling out, do you have anything like new coming out with the website? Any new like featurettes that you can tease?
Right now we just took partnership with Swansea Radio. DJ Swansea, if you don't know him, he is a Inland Empire / LA DJ geared towards the independent artists. He DJs a lot of clubs and stuff like that, and he already had a radio station called Swansea Radio. So what we're doing is we're branding together, and we're going to make it like a 24-hour 7 days a week radio station.
Nice.
And we want to bring on different DJs, different people like yourself, even
rotation compilation hour type thing.
Definitely. So that's what we're gearing toward right now. Of course, more merch to come. There'll always be merch on the store.
Sweet. I just wanted to get a lowdown, and then the artist to watch, is that just you breaking down the artist, just breaking it down, understanding maybe the psychosis of where they're coming from?
Right. We have a couple writers right now that write for us, and so what they do is we kind of. Right now, we're kind of gearing towards the Inland Empire, because I feel like obviously that's where we're at. There's this little wave coming. Don't sleep on Inland Empire. I'm telling you, it's gonna be too late. I'm telling you guys. I preach the choir all day, but no one seems to listen. But they will one day. 100%. So
They'll smack them in the fucking jaw, dude.
No, but definitely we have to. We're focusing right now on the Inland Empire, and we're kind of giving some shine to the artists out here. So
you had McGuire and Jay East, correct?
Yeah, Jay East had got the artist to watch last week, and then McGuire had got he had just got a write up.
Yeah, I read that guy. That was pretty cool, man.
So
and then the pictures killed it with the
the pictures that Drew shot for him were amazing. Were really.
They've been trickling them out on the social medias too. It's just all good, all good. McGuire, hire him, get him to model your lines for real. So you kind of figurehead in some of this, most of it probably, you know, you're real deep with this Newport. This is you. What's the biggest lesson you've learned kind of from owning and operating a brand? Like, not necessarily has to be like directly business oriented, but like even personally, like what have you learned about yourself? Because there's definitely lessons to be learned from everything, and I'm sure like based on how you've broken down like the evolution of Newport, the brand, how has that? What lessons have you taken away from it? Like,
bro, there's a couple. I would say one. Obviously you can't take business personal. We've had some signings that we don't have a part of Newport anymore, but I never mix business with our friendship, because I don't ever want that to. And I usually base a lot of the people that we sign on whether I really fuck with the person. So
it's very Fool's Gold, like kind of how Fool's Gold does this stuff, where they don't take, you own all your masters on Fool's Gold, but they're very much just coming in and being like, we like where this direction is, we're not trying to change anything. That, like, that's why Danny Brown got so weird. Like, Danny Brown got weird because like you had people like, I don't know, G-Unit telling him that he had to wear like baggy pants, and that's why he didn't get signed and all that stuff. But then all of a sudden Danny Brown has like the crazy fucking hair, the crazy pants, and that was fully Fool's Gold, being like, we're gonna back you no matter fucking what, but if you're gonna do this, do it full out, like do it how you want to do it. And like that whole mentality is like something that like people should adapt as far as mantras go within the brand. And like if you can maintain that, especially with this area, like, because I'm telling you, dude, we're bubbling, and like it's just gonna boil over eventually, dude. Definitely.
And then also I mean I've also learned that you can't and this also comes from managing people, you can't push people, you know what I'm saying? If someone doesn't want to do something, or if they're not really wanting to do it right then and there, especially you're dealing with artists, like artists, you know what I'm saying? So
these are their children every time they put something out.
Exactly. And you know, art is, it's based a lot on emotion, you know, so it's however they're feeling at the time. So the
best art, I mean, in my opinion, that's why I really see like some of the more formulated, conceptualized, like just pieces of work, man. I agree completely with that.
That's kind of what I've learned thus far. Everything else, I mean, I sit, you know, kind of bird's eye view. I don't really say too much. You know,
the less you say,
the
better sometimes. I'm out here running my mouth sometimes. It's not good sometimes. You definitely got to bite your tongue in life, especially with the brand, dude. Especially when you're talking like as the brand. It's hard to separate Derreck from Newport sometimes. I bet too, when people are talking to you. Toot your own horn, biggest success with Newport. What's like the biggest, most like, I'm fucking proud of this? And it may just be the brand overall, like, because there's definitely been growth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, to be honest with you, I'm just happy to see the people that are on Newport succeed. Even with like I said, Aaron. Aaron, literally maybe 3 months ago, we were chilling and we were recording for another podcast actually, and Sean Kingston just like randomly hit him up, and you know what I'm saying, and it was just like, yo, he was like, well, what do you think I should do? I'm like, yo, you should take this opportunity or whatever. The dude was working at Olive Garden. Sean Kingston told him to quit his job, signed him. Now Aaron is now signed to Sean Kingston and is about to go on tour. Aaron's never been out of the country. Aaron just went out of just went to Shanghai.
Shout out to Aaron.
You know what I'm saying?
Making moves. Be more like Aaron. Hashtag be more like Aaron. That's what. That's
so I mean, I'm just happy for the people. Well, I guess within the team, everybody's just kind of working, and everybody's just, they're moving forward, you know. And if it's not even with what it is at the time that they're doing, they're moving forward in some other direction. I'm just happy to see everybody succeed. So that's really what it is, man. That's really what it's about.
So naturally, through this whole thing, you're managing a lot.
Yeah.
And now you're a manager for the local talent in the Inland Empire. Do you have like who do you manage, and like what has that process been like becoming like a manager? Because it's, especially if you know the people, I'm sure it's not easy to like sit them down and be like, yeah, this is the business side of me, and then we're gonna go kick it at Chick-fil-A after, you know what I mean? And then I'm Derreck, but like I still got to talk about this business because I'm trying to help both of us in this situation. I just can't imagine like kind of flipping the switch, you know what I mean? But what has that whole process been like for you? And I want to know like who you're managing right now, if I could.
Yeah, the process between being able to, you know, be a friend, but be about, you know, the business is, I kind of work differently. because I'm more of a vibe. So we can talk about all kinds of stuff like, yo, this is the plan, like this is what we want to do and stuff like that. Don't worry about the business side. I'm gonna take care of the business side. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you see everything that I'm doing as far as business. So you know, because I want everybody that I work with to be able to be their own businessman, to be on top of everything that's going on. Because technically, a manager, I'm working for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're kind of taking it, and that's how we've gone about it with everybody that I've managed. Right now, my current roster is See the Curator, Jeremiah Taylor. Working with Art, and we're working with JV. I'm doing creative direction for Lil Twist, and Jay Winans and DJ Looney. But yeah.
Sweet.
If you don't know who DJ Looney is, shout out to him. He's
I don't know who that is.
He's LaShawn Ellis's DJ, actually. Okay. Yeah, so yeah.
That's a good person to have on especially I can only imagine that LaShawn is just cooking up stuff all the time, so that the exposure that he gets and learning with that, you can only pick up off of that.
Right.
So, and you said creative direction. Could you define like the difference between a manager and is it the booking side of stuff too?
Right. Well, okay, as far as creative direction, I don't necessarily have to deal with the business as far as the artist goes. So I typically come in either at the very beginning of a project or at maybe a 75% way through the project, and it just depends on whoever the artist is. So what I do is, from videos to the artwork, the art direction, promotion, the rollout, from touring stuff, so all that, and then the managing side would be not necessarily much of the creative direction. Obviously, more of like, hey, this is how you should release it. Like, I think we should release it on this platform. We should give them an exclusive. We should do this. We should do that. And obviously, that's from the very beginning throughout. So, I mean, I hope.
Speaking of exclusives, we got Art Watson to be in something in a little.
Yeah. Definitely. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. I guess I'll talk now.
Art, what's up, dude?
What's up, brother?
How you been?
I've been good.
I'm glad that you're here. I don't see you enough. I feel like
I know.
I'm always walking through a show. I feel like, and then I just hear, yo, and then I look and it's just you chilling. I was like, what's up, dude? How you doing? But we need to get in the same room more often. I would agree.
Yeah, man. I usually just try to stay low key. Stay at a.
Keeps you out of trouble, honestly.
The way.
Yeah, dude, you're never in the way. So what do you got dropping today? What are we doing? What's the name of this guy?
So this track we brought over here as a present to you. Derek told me you were gonna do this whole interview with him, and he told me he was gonna bring me with him. So I was like, all right, for sure. We kind of just planned this out, and then it's called Empire. Yeah.
For the Inland Empire. Yeah, or just your empire.
Whatever way you want to take it.
All right.
I can't limit your imagination.
We're gonna debut that in a little bit. But thank you so much, dude. Any gift is just the best, but a gift of music is like 1,000 times better. Thank you so much, man.
Gotcha.
So you got See the Curator, Jeremiah Taylor, Art Watson. Do you manage them as like a cohesive unit, as if like you're trying to like everybody's on the same page, like you're trying to get them all to the same point as far as like the same, not simplistic, but like just very like, we're gonna drop music and this project's coming out, obviously we need this certain level of success and I want that certain level of success. But when you think about like Art dropping a project and then Jeremiah's dropping a project, do you ever have to think of those as two full things that are happening at the same time, or are they separate entities and you handle everything separate?
Right, everything is separate.
Yeah.
Of course, I the way I do it and go about it is I kind of use all of the different, obviously, connects and stuff like that. So like with See the Curator, she's not an artist.
Yeah.
So we'll use her platform to obviously preview some new music. She has major connects within the industry. I mean, matter of fact, she told me that Made in Tokyo was gonna pop before he popped. So like that's how we kind of use that. And then
new mixtape this week too. Go cop that.
Right, definitely. And then with her brand, the merchandise and stuff that we released through her brand, kind of bring it back onto some of the artists. So like I kind of, they're all separate entities, but I kind of crossfade them a little bit.
Yeah, because you don't want to. I assume you don't want to like cannibalize your own platform, and like I don't know if there's ever a direct fear of that, but I could see how like if you got a bunch of stuff happening, they could collide to where like they miss something maybe, or I'm sure there's a lot of strategic planning that you do.
Yeah.
And it is so if you do keep them separate, that makes sense. I guess what I want to know as far as that goes is when you have a project from start to finish, and like I've talked to artists, and like Jay East was in here and we were talking about how like he sometimes starts projects and then it'll turn into another thing, and then sometimes just be another project eventually, or the singles are just, that's how it happened. Like 4 of the songs vibed a certain way, but the other 3 didn't. Do you ever see projects from a management perspective and a creative perspective? Do you ever see projects change over time, and like what does that mean to you, and how do you combat that in a positive way to where you're still keeping the direction in that same direction?
No. I think projects change, all the time.
Is it natural to you now? Like, do you think you're comfortable in a situation where if the project is starting to go in a different direction, you're able to like go to that direction full on?
Yeah, I've definitely have learned a lot from the past. I used to be, I couldn't do that, but now like I can definitely, if someone wants to switch up something tomorrow or whatever, it's like, okay, well, this is how we're going to rework it. And I always think about it just like, okay, especially with artists from the Inland Empire, I feel like a lot of artists from the Inland Empire, they think of themselves as artists from the Inland Empire. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you need to think of yourself as just an artist, another one of these artists. And if you do that and you release it, properly and do a correct rollout, we can make you seem as big as anyone. Yeah. So
that's very true. I mean, it's all planning, man.
Yeah,
planning.
It really is.
Planning and execution. That's the execution's the hardest part. People underestimate that step. But so these artists that you have, this list that you named, what appealed? Like, what was the instant appeal with them? Is it all different and it's just somehow they vibe with you, and you were very much emphasizing on like the personal connections, and that like you can almost instantly tell when you talk to someone like, okay, I could see this working in a certain way. Does it ever change? Did you ever get the vibe that like that wasn't going to be the case, but then it flipped and then it was like, oh no, this guy's like perfect for what we're trying to do, and we're actually like cohesively working together?
Yeah, I mean,
because for me it's mostly been like the flip side where it's like, oh, you're perfect, but then like we actually start grooving, and it's like, oh well, we should have planned this out a little bit better before we started like jumping the ship, you know what I mean?
No, definitely. I think with a lot of people, I can tell based off of a person's like past history, you know what I'm saying? So like if you look at an artist or just an individual and see what they've done in the past and how they've went about it, then you can kind of tell the person that they're going to be going forward. And if it's like with music, when you look at like such as Jeremiah Taylor, he started off just releasing like tons of singles, and he did the 22 mixtape, and then he did the This Is the Year. Yeah. And from that point on, you can kind of see like his trajectory, like, wow, okay, this guy's really got something. And it's just like, okay, well, I've known Jeremy for a really long time, and so now it's like, okay, well, what can we do to kind of take you to that next step? And I think it was only right, he was looking for management at the time, and I was like, well, it kind of fits, man. Like, I can definitely, take you on if you're willing and stuff like that. So I think it's just, I honestly think, man, it's just about the vibes. Like, seriously, it's really about the vibes. Like, you can really tell about a person just based off of what they've done in the past. And even if they haven't had the whole an amount like of success behind what they've done, if they've done it in a creative way, I can tell that you're trying. So I kind of I use my connects and my outlets and stuff like that to expand on that. Yeah.
So it may be really early to ask this, but new mixtape that's coming
from Jeremy.
Yeah. Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Anything you can add where you guys are like, what process are you guys in now? Is it the recording phase? Still, getting the beats from Drummer Boy. I assume he's producing that boy.
Yeah.
That smile.
Yeah. right now, Jeremy, he's working on the project. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. He's also in talks with a couple other people as far as management and label situations and stuff like that. So it's all good stuff. It's gonna be really, really good. He's working on it. Jamar Boy, we talked to him. We want kind of a consistent sound. That's what we're trying to build right now. Not just for this project, but for the rest of Jeremy's music career.
How good is that team up though? It just works.
They're really good
from the start. Like there wasn't
really good. Right?
There was no, and have they met? Because as far as I'm concerned, they haven't really met. They haven't met in person. Yeah, but I see them FaceTime. Like I've been over to Jeremy's house and like they're FaceTiming. They're going back and forth like consistent. Every 20 minutes, he's got like, all right, did this. Like he's like, I'm tweaking this. And it's just such a good vibe. But some people would think that they make every single song in the same fucking room. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to know, but they don't. And like that's such a cool thing to capture, and especially with this new project going forward. I'm just really excited personally.
Right.
As a fan.
And that's what's really funny to me is because it's like the internet, man. Like that's crazy how that works. Like you can send somebody a beat and like they're like best friends off of the internet. You know. Speaking of Jamar Boy, go purchase some merch from his store.
Get him to California.
Yeah. We're trying to get him out here to produce, live and studio with us and stuff like that. So go ahead and purchase some merch. If not, I'm gonna have to come up with some. We gotta get him out here though.
We gotta start a fucking GoFundMe. Put that shit everywhere. Get the Reddits involved. Hip hop heads.
Right.
Fuck, dude, I'm so excited for that project. Jeremiah Taylor, In Rotation Conversation #1. He was with Emilio Purtis. You could go catch that in our feed, iTunes, concertrotation.com, all that good stuff. But yeah, you could get a little bit insight. I'm sure we're going to have him in the studio too when that's all hyping up. Yeah. And once Drumble Boy's out here, we were just talking last night, like we are going to get that in person. Right. I want to break down. I just want to get them in the same room and show it to the world that's a thing. Right. I'm pretty excited for that one, definitely.
Let's go. There once was a lad who never had music. Then he went on to SoundCloud. Then he found constant rotation. Then he knew that he had the fucking plug for the hottest shit that you ever heard. Yeah, constant rotation, in rotation compilation. Head on over there. Every Monday we got the hottest shit. You like the Katos, you like the Jeremiah Taylors, you like the Dylan Ponders, you like the Emilio Paredes. Everyone fucks with that shit. Don't fuck around. Go over there. Do me a favor. Do us a favor. Do your dog a favor. Do your grandma a flavor. Yeah, give her a flavor, dude. No, do her a favor. Send her the link. SoundCloud.com/constant rotation. New and rotation compilations every Monday. Do that shit now.
Mr. Art, dude. What have you been working on as far as projects and Art makes some of the hardest fucking music, but I don't hear enough of it. But maybe I'm just being super selfish because I want as much as I can get. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's on me, and I just need to slow my roll a little bit. But every time that the wait is worth it. So know that, dude. Like there's never a time where it wasn't worth it. But tell the people, man. Is there any what creative direction are you going on? What's the way that you've been doing it recently? You got a new project coming or something?
Yeah.
Go ahead and announce it, bro.
I mean, so what we basically have planned up is dropping this song with you, Empire. And
exclusive.
Then I took down all my music off of the internet. I do a little bit of remastering. I'm gonna drop greatest hits that will come out with some visuals.
Like a greatest hits of your like discography.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good idea, man. People might be stealing a page out of your book after that, but I like that. That's a very cool way of going about it.
But we'll actually have like the visuals this time, so it all makes sense when we drop it. And then to end the year off, we'll do It's Hard Being Art, and that will be like my, I guess, EP album.
That's the title.
Yeah, It's Hard Being Art. So that's like, all right. Now,
have you had that in your pocket for a minute? That title, because that's a sick ass title, dude. That's a double entendre in itself. Yeah, I'm sure. It means a lot to you, though.
Yeah.
When are you pushing for a date? Is that 2017? Are you trying to make that year's end?
Oh no, yeah, definitely. I was this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything I just said will be this year.
SoundCloud.com will be /Art Watson on the screen once it's up.
Well, no. So, okay, regarding that though, the music that he's gonna be releasing, we're not trying to we're gonna take a SoundCloud route, but we're gonna do it in a different direction. We're gonna make it a little bit more interesting. We want to make it about an experience. So I mean, it's just something that you're gonna have to wait to see.
Definitely.
But it's gonna be
you got to break out all your plans, bust out the blueprints, read them off to me. We need to know everything. We need to know your playbook. But
it's gonna, trust me, like when you, I mean, heck, the greatest hits from Art could be released in a day now. Like you never know. So when we drop it, it's gonna happen. Like
and you'll know about it. Concertation.com.
You're gonna know about it.
And you're gonna hear this song in a minute. Only the Best podcast. So I listened to that. That started this week. That was like the first official episode. Is that an expand on? There's the speaker. All right, cool. I was looking for that guy. Just so we were good. But Only the Best podcast, man. Do you want to maybe talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Only the Best podcast, man, is just a concept that we had kind of drew from. We had started doing like a little podcast type thing about a year ago. It's called Volume Music Series, and it was its own separate entity. We closed that out because of some of the deals that we had with a couple of the different hosts that we had on it, and kind of rebranded it a little bit differently. It's just a music type podcast. We're trying to get a little bit more geared towards like pop culture though, so it's not going to be necessarily about music all the time, but more of music within pop culture.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be cool. I mean, it's different from the other podcasts out, I would say.
Yeah, it's like it flowed really nicely. Like it had like a continuous, and like the tracks were good, like interludes between the stuff, and like
you liked it.
I liked it a lot.
Sure,
It was very cool. I did that concept kind of expanded from that other podcast. Blah 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 blah. So podcasting on the Newport brand, is that going to be a new network that you can the people out there can look forward to? Yeah,
I mean, of course, we want to be able to release some like exclusive stuff on there, but like I said, we also have the radio situation. So like
that 24/7 thing is like such a cool idea.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna try to gear Only the Best podcast to more of just talk, instead of music.
Weekly conversation.
Right.
Cool.
But it should be cool.
The schedule, is there a day? Is it weekly?
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday, yeah. So every Thursday, go on iTunes, type in Only the Best podcast. You'll see Derreck over there. Flexing his hosting skills. I like it though.
I don't know about it, man. I might try to give up that position, man. I can't.
Don't. It takes time.
Your job is hard, bro. Like,
no. People come in here and they think it's pretty easy, but it's not. Like, especially when you don't know the people. But dude, you've been talking into the mic properly. Like you've been doing been hitting all the checks. So like you've been pretty straightforward. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
The book. I saw this on Twitter like a month ago. Because you kind of took a break from Twitter. I don't know. You got a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
I wish I'd had the balls to do that, but sometimes I just find myself in this black hole of Twitter again, and it's a never-ending void, dude.
It really is. It's like consistent, bro. So I did take a break from Twitter. Regarding the book, though, we're looking at right now a December date. For the release of it.
Is it like a novel, or is it like
It's gonna be a how-to book, bro.
Okay.
A how-to book for rappers.
Oh.
It's literally called How to Be a Rapper, and it's gonna be cool. Like I think it's gonna have some of my best secrets and some of my best ways of how to really how to be a rapper.
The title says it all.
Yeah.
And I want to read this thing. I do. I'm pretty
cool.
interested.
Trust me, I'll get you a copy.
Yeah, let's do that. Maybe I'll start a book club, Concertation Book Club. You heard it here first.
For sure.
Can we expect this available this year?
Yes, yeah. Cool. December release. It'll be right now we're trying to work it to get on, obviously like Amazon and stuff like that.
Let me do the Audible.
Bro.
Let me do the Audible, please.
That would be dope. I didn't even think about that, but
dude,
hey, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Definitely, 100%. The voiceover is right in my alley, so we'll do that. Or we'll talk about it. So you've broken down like 10 facets of like Derreck Jamar just now, and the book is kind of like the one that's like a book,
right?
That's like the one. And now that I know it pertains to rap, so it makes sense. It's not like completely out of left field. You're not writing like an alligator children's story or something. But how challenging has it been to take that from just that rhetorical question of how to be a rapper, that rhetorical statement of like this means something, and then expanding on it to have a book out of it? Like, where's your mind at, bro? Like,
the only hard concept of writing a book, bro, is literally when you start writing something and then you keep like going on. It'll be like a run-on sentence because you'll go to like the next topic like out of nowhere, so that it's kind of hard to bring it back.
3 pages later, you're like, no, backspace, backspace.
Yeah, exactly. So that's been the hardest part. As far as the whole concept and how we're going about it, that's been pretty easy. You know, we're going, you know, literally from Joe Schmo in his room writing down lyrics on a page to becoming a successful hit, you know, with having tons of sales on iTunes and Apple Music and all that kind of cool stuff. So it's gonna be good. Yeah, it's called "Don't Be a Rapper" or "How to Be a Rapper."
Don't be a rapper. That's my book coming out next spring. Don't be a rapper, the indirect sequel. So this is kind of just a rundown. Pop-up show in Atlanta. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, man. We have a pop-up show, pop-up shop in Atlanta this weekend.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. This weekend in Atlanta, it's gonna be kind of in conjunction with Drake and Future's concert. We actually got in contact with Future's brand manager, and she has a store out there called Fly Chicks. Okay. So we're having a pop-up event in the store, and it's going to be through See the Curator. And you know, good vibes, good music, talented people up in there, you know, so it's going to be a good event. If you're in Atlanta, come out to the 0002 pop-up event in Atlanta.
Is that the second one? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was the first one?
The first one we did was actually in LA. It was off of Hollywood and Vine. That was a month ago, and we had it at the House of Mackay. You had people like Ali come through. We had it was a Reebok sponsored event because See the Curator, she's sponsored by Reebok, so all of our events are Reebok sponsored. So we had, you know, shoe giveaways and you know, just different people there, bro. It was cool.
I missed out.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know it was last month. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Lil Twist.
Yes.
You talked a little bit about him.
Yeah, that's the homie. Lil Twist, man. Obviously,
Cash Money.
Yeah, Young Money, Cash Money. Now New Money. He, matter of fact, he just released his project today. I don't know when they're gonna be listening to this, but it'll
go live tomorrow. So yesterday, Lil Twist album.
Yeah. It's called Anger Management. I did all of the creative direction for that. I do creative direction for Lil Twist, so you can expect some big things in the future. Anger Management tour coming up. Obviously more music, but he's getting back into it, and we're gonna really try to make him Lil Wayne's protege. So it's the rebirth of Lil Twist, definitely.
Fuck yeah, dude, because he's been not. I'm not gonna say that he's been slept on. Exactly, man. Like I remember when I was in high school watching him on that XXL list, and then just kind of like, I don't know, I didn't see him up in the foreground, but you know, people are really just keeping their eyes shut. That's their problem. But I'm glad someone's fucking in this room telling me to not sleep on Lil Twist. So Anger Management.
Yeah, Anger Management.
Check that shit out. iTunes, SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. It'll be on Apple Music and Spotify today.
There we go.
Yeah. JV.
Drum roll.
JV is actually, we're working on some new stuff right now. It's kind of like up in the air of how we're gonna go about it, but just know that he's working on new music, and
he's an OG in the area, and like 100%. That was one of the very first people that I saw the local scene kind of start from. I mean, I was super close with like that clique via Facebook and other social medias back then, and I wasn't doing consultation, so obviously there was no like direct contact, but just seeing the homemade buzz start from that guy and just see what he's done and just see him partner up and just keep going, man. It's very cool because this is like 6 years now, you know what I mean? Like he's really working, and like it's no joke, and that just shows that like just hustle, guys, just keep going at it, you know what I mean? Don't stop.
He took kind of, you know, a different route, took more of the family life approach for a second there, trying to get himself together, and I respect that. And now he's ready to put some new stuff out, and it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be really, really good. All original music, so yeah.
Got art here. Jeremiah, See the Curator, you want to talk about anything that she's up to other than the pop-up shop in Atlanta?
Yeah. Besides that, we have the new free Kodak merch about to pop off. That's what will be dropping in any day now. And we have right now she has a couple playlists up on Apple Music, but you can check out seethecurator.com for all stuff on See the Curator. The new blog she just dropped, it's amazing. We have some great pieces. So yeah.
Well written, very well written.
Yeah,
I've been enjoying the blog. So Newport brand /
Newport brand / See the Curator. You can check her out too.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, it's time, man. Time to show off the gift.
Man.
The gift that keeps on giving. Whoa. You got the
I got it right here.
there we go. So Empire, this is a concert rotation, first ever legit exclusive. You're gonna hear this on the In Rotation Conversation, and then it'll drop Friday. Does that work?
Friday. That's perfect.
All right, cool. So Friday, you will hear this on SoundCloud.com/concert rotation, but
Exclusive.
Thursday, Wednesday, you will have a chance to hear it through the Derreck Jamar interview, which you are listening to right now. And we appreciate your support.
For sure.
Empire, Art Watson.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So inspiring. Watch out, I might get you fired. I'm the one that they gon' hire, and I'm only moving higher. I'ma build a whole empire. Yeah, I'ma build a whole empire. Yeah, I'ma build a whole empire. Doubters about to look like liars. I'ma come in to inspire. I'ma come in so inspiring. I'm the one they wish that came. Don't act like you know my name. They said that I was insane. That only built on my flame. I'm the plug and the supplier. I'm the seller and the buyer. I'm the one they gon' admire. I'm a rapper and a fighter. I can tell she got regrets. I'm the best man she met. This is easy, this is math. 2 and 2, forget your past. I'ma come in so inspiring. Watch out, I might get you fired. I'm the one that they gon' hire, and I'm only moving higher. I'ma build a whole empire. Yeah, I'ma build a whole empire. Now it's time y'all meet the legend. Y'all was focused on the present. I had to go to the future. I saw things ain't getting better. Came back to get it together. This I know I got my bag. I ain't needed none of that. I could do this on my own. I stop talking, I'ma show 'em. Baby, where you think you going? I swear none of that's important. I swear none of them will love you. He just using you for money. You my bride and I play Chucky. If I ain't killed you, then you lucky. If I ain't killed you, then you lucky. I'ma build a whole empire. Doubters about to look like liars. I'ma come in to inspire. I'ma come in so inspiring. I'm the one they wish that came. Don't act like you know my name. They said that I was insane. I'ma come in so inspiring. Watch out, I might get you fired. I'm the one that they gon' hire, and I'm only moving higher. I'ma build a whole empire. Yeah, I'ma build a whole empire. Yeah, I'ma come in so inspiring. Watch out, I might get you fired. I'm the one that they gon' hire, and I'm only moving higher. I'ma build a whole empire. Yeah, I'ma build a whole empire. Yeah. That's crazy. So when we found the potion is gonna be over, right? Now we found the car, now we got the keys, man. What they gonna do with this? It's just too much. We gonna build this shit from the ground, man. Yeah. Believe it or not, go bad. All that. It's too easy for me, man. It's too easy for me. 4 plus signs. Yeah.
Don't sleep on Art Watson's Empire. He is fucking coming up. He's doing it. He's gonna get your ass fired. He's the one that they're gonna fucking hire. I heard that shit. Dude, thank you so much for our first legit exclusive. That's gonna be In Rotation compilation, all that good stuff on next Monday, lead track and all that shit. But concertation.com/artist OTW. That's where you're going to find the write-up and all that stuff for this particular track. If you want to find that, that's going to be Friday, August 26th, I believe is the date. 27th, maybe. I don't know how to do math in my head properly when I'm trying to think and speak. But thank you guys so much for being here. Derreck Jamar, do you have anything that you want to add, man? Like anything that I just left off the list?
Nah, man. You're good.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me up
Dude.
here. Seriously, like, appreciate it. Appreciate it, definitely.
I
Keep doing what you're doing, because this is seriously good. Just not just for the Inland Empire, but just for the culture. I think it's real cool. So
I mean, it's cool to have a straight up rapper in here too. I just want to have conversations with people. So if you are hearing this and you have something that you want to add, hit us up at theconsultation@gmail.com. Derreck Jamar, thank you so much. This has been an In Rotation Conversation number 4 with Art Watson with the exclusive track Empire. My name's Garrett. You can find me on Twitter at YoGurt, YoGRRTT, consultation.com. That's where you'll find everything that I'm fucking up to. iTunes, that's where you'll find our podcast. SoundCloud.com/consultation Mondays. In Rotation Compilation Tuesdays. We got Instant Replay, Matt and Josh's Instant Replay, our sports podcast. Our second episode's going live. That'll already be live by the time you hear this on iTunes. But seriously, guys, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We love you. That was a Derreck Jamar interview.
Yeah, bish.
Yeah, bish.
A nigga like me, man. I love the game. I love the hustle, man. Be feeling like one of them ball playing niggas, you know? Like Bird, Magic, or something. Yeah, you know a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man.
Pussy boy been scheming, but I see he got it in for me. Sounding like I'm Denzel, cause my mental state and energy. It's hard to watch your back when you know your worst enemy. This weed, I call it MIB, here to lose your identity. Fuck twin sisters, pussies, they look the same. I call them copycats. Drowned in both, I'm traumatized. I think I need a hockey mask. Pretty sure the realest shit I wrote was my autograph. I'm getting paid. He said, what time we hanging? Bitch, I'm Flavor Flav.
Try to take a nigga dreams from him, yeah, good luck. You a star too cool, move aside like Chucks. I admit I spent some time way down. I just found my way up, now can't see the ground. Try to take a nigga dreams from him, yeah, good luck. You a star too cool, move aside like Chucks. I admit I spent some time way down. I just found my way up, now I can't see the ground.
Pussy boy been scheming, but I see he got it in for me. I'd make you eat your words, but that be some human centipede. My uncle so drugged up plugs, it's in my blood, man. Rest in peace, this music is a drug. I flip for love to keep me off the streets. Nickname Yak, I have hella stomachs. I'm so hungry, sick as yak, vomit, puke. Symptoms of a fucking beast. Who to take these kids' lives like new custody? You armed and pure pedigree. You bitches just feeding pedigree.
Try to take a nigga dreams from him, yeah, good luck. You a star too cool, move aside like Chucks. I admit I spent some time way down. I just found my way up, now can't see the ground. Try to take a nigga dreams from him, yeah, good luck. You a star too cool, move aside like Chucks. I admit I spent some time way down. I just found my way up, now I can't see the ground.